I remember sitting at a red light, probably a Saturday night on my way to Taco Bell, what I'd planned as my weekend cheat meal, because I'd been so good all week. Calorie counting, eating clean, exercising, doing everything right. I was deep into what I thought was a successful diet. But behind the scenes, I was constantly fighting my body, fighting cravings, planning every bite, secretly eating foods I told myself I wasn't allowed to even want, and swinging between days where I felt like I had complete control and nights where I felt like I was totally out of control, sitting on a couch, ashamed and alone. And as I sat at that red light, a question kind of hit me hard, like a truth I didn't want to admit. Is this what it is? Is this it? Is this what life is going to be if I want to stay thin? I didn't recover that day, and not for years, but it cracked something open in me. That question eventually led me to become an eating disorder therapist. It led me to the science of intuitive eating, to doing my own healing work, to creating the One Body Love program, a space where I now help women just like you break out of the binge restrict cycle and finally make peace with food in their bodies. Welcome to One Body to Love, where we're rewriting the rules around food, body image, and self-acceptance. I'm Dr. Meredith MacKenzie, therapist, coach, and your guide to a life free from diet culture and food guilt. If you ever felt stuck in the cycle of binging, restricting, or struggling to feel at home in your body, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll explore emotional eating, body image, and joyful movement through solo episodes, expert interviews, and real-life coaching sessions. Because your body is not the problem. This is your space to learn, heal, and finally break free, and to discover what it means to love the body you're in. So here's the thing that changed everything for me, both professionally and personally. I realized that the space between healthy eating and disordered eating is actually so much wider and so much more nuanced than most people think, even myself. And I had been living in that gray zone for years without really knowing what to call it. When I became an eating disorder therapist and later trained as an intuitive eating therapist, things really started to shift. I finally had a framework to understand the thoughts and behaviors I'd carried around for so long, things that I'd normalized or dismissed as just what you have to do in order to be healthy. The calorie counting, the guilt, the endless mental math, the obsession with controlling it and making sure that you fixed whatever it was that you did down the line. Learning about intuitive eating allowed me to slow down, to notice the thoughts that weren't actually mine, but were echoes of diet culture. And from there, I started to rebuild a more peaceful relationship with food, one that wasn't based on restriction or shame, but on trust. That's also what led me to create One Body to Love, which is my signature program, and now this podcast. Because here's what I saw. There are services out there provided by private practice as well as government programs that provide people with clear-cut eating disorders the support that is essential for them. But what about the women who live in the margins of that diagnosis? The ones who binge at night but restrict during the day. The ones who don't meet clinical criteria but still feel broken around food. The ones who are praised for their willpower but are quietly suffering. Those women deserve support too, and this is for them. So what makes One Body to Love different from other food and body image podcasts? Well, for one, I want to blend the personal with the professional. I'm coming to you as a therapist who's worked with so many women on these struggles, but also as someone who's been there myself. I'm going to have expert guests, registered dietitians, therapists, doctors, people with strong voices and smart perspectives who can challenge the status quo. But I'm also going to talk with real women. Real stories, the kind of raw, honest conversations we usually keep locked in our heads, even the ones we don't want to admit to ourselves out loud. Because I wish those conversations had existed for me. I wish I had been supported early on, so I never went down this path of disconnection and self-doubt. But when I was deep in it, I also wish someone had told me about how hard it really was. That's what I want to do here. There are so many myths to dismantle, even in the podcasting space. So many professionals giving advice to people in really vulnerable places. And so many voices still promising that the next diet, the next reset, the next wellness hack is finally going to fix everything. I want to be a different voice in the mix, a voice that says, you're not broken and you don't need fixing. On this podcast, you'll hear solo episodes from me, expert interviews, and strategy sessions with real women who are walking through their emotional eating struggles in real time. We'll talk about what it means to live in a body that's changing. We'll talk about being in university and surrounded by diet talk and binge culture. We'll talk about body image during pregnancy and postpartum and how it shifts again during perimenopause. And yes, we're definitely going to talk about Ozempic, GLP-1s, and what's been happening right now in the world of weight loss drugs. If it's affecting you, it's on the table. And something I'm really excited about, something I haven't seen much of in this space, is client deep dives. These episodes where I'll talk through real emotional eating struggles with women who are just like you. Of course, names and details will be changed to protect privacy, but the emotions, the stuck points, the self-talk, those are all real. We'll talk through what's actually going on beneath the surface of binge eating, what triggers those overwhelming food moments, and how to start building strategies that are compassionate, realistic, and sustainable. These aren't polished after stories. These are in the moment, raw human experiences that I hope will help you see that you're not the only one and that healing is possible, even when you're still in the messy middle. And when I sit down to record each episode, I'm picturing you. You might be sitting in your car after a grocery trip where you overthought everything, or standing in your kitchen tired of trying to start over again. You're smart, self-aware, and you've tried so many things already, but nothing has given you the peace that you're really looking for. You're tired of being told that you just need more discipline, tired of influencers pretending that eating clean will fix your anxiety, or that moderation means measuring your peanut butter. You're tired of feeling like a project just constantly needing improving. By the end of each episode, I want you to feel softer with yourself. More informed, yes, but more hopeful too. Like someone finally put words to what you've been feeling and offered you a path forward that doesn't require you to change who you are. This is a space for learning, unlearning, and coming home to yourself. One step, one episode, one moment at a time. That's it for today's episode of One Body to Love. I'm so grateful you chose to spend this time with me. These conversations around food and body image can be deeply personal, and the fact that you showed up today, open and curious, means more than I can say. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Come connect with me on Instagram at Dr. Meredith MacKenzie. Send me a message, share what stood out, or just say hi. If you're ready to take the next step toward food freedom and finally feel at home in your body, head to meredithmackenzie.ca/OBTL to learn more about the One Body to Love program. You'll find everything you need to begin healing your relationship with food with support every step of the way. If you're enjoying the show, one of the best ways to show support is by leaving a quick rating and review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening. Your words help more women find this space and feel less alone. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. You deserve a life of peace with food and your body.